informó que 5 personas murieron ayer por el incendio registrado en la barra.
Try it with some rice. Okay guys, make information. This is the only line that you need from here. And I hope that you like it because this line is not. The most traditional tortillas in the city are
even though it's not from there.
All the sugar, everything for children. But you're wrong. This is for grown. Before this was a market, there was a tianguis, that is the name of the street market. The family is selling here for almost 100 years. But this one is not nervous. Like I told you, variety. For a nice salad in a really hot day, the best option. But if you want to make guacamole, Relo de México is alegría. This means in Spanish, happiness. Because it's going to make you happy to eat it. Tortilla with a layer of bean and some chicken lettuce. Can you see the chicken? It looks like orange because it's managed. Voyage. Which one is gonna have raspberry? What's the difference?
Merhaba oğlum.